Be Quiet sent over their Pure Rock Slim. This is actually a fairly new CPU cooler. It's got a 120 watt TDP max, and it's for basically small form factor PCs or low power CPUs. So if you're interested, do stick around as it's pretty awesome. So if you're interested in the technical specs, here they are, feel free to pause and take a look, but the main thing is that this is 124.8mm tall, so if you're looking for your compatibility list, that's the number you need to match. Inside the box you get a fan as well as obviously the fan clips, the cooler itself with pre-applied thermal paste. Intel, you're installing the AMD bracket, which you just remove those 4 screws there, and yeah, other than that, as I said, you get the AMD bracket, but it's a fairly small, fairly lightweight, fairly, you know, not that dense, thin arrangement type of CPU cooler. It's obviously not a high performance 2011 kind of, you know, running your 6900 or 6950X type CPU cooler. It's designed for a fairly stylish, fairly small, basically compact build with something like an i5-6400 or that sort of thing. With the fan installed, it does look quite good, and the top plate actually looks really, really nice, the sort of brushed aluminium look. And if you're installing this on AMD, then basically just put the AMD mounting bracket through the middle, slot it in, and remove the AMD slots. Now for me, with the AMD mounting hardware, I had to mount this sort of face down, so that it was basically sucking air off of the graphics card, but it didn't seem to affect performance too much as I ran both with and without a graphics card, and it actually did a really good job. It was sitting around about 80 degrees under full load with the GPU too, which seems quite high, but for its size and price and the noise level, it was actually really impressive. So despite this being ridiculously small and limited to 120 watt TDP processors, this actually does a really good job of, especially not necessarily cooling as such. I mean, it's probably about as effective at cooling as a general sort of AMD stock cooler or something like that. But the main thing for me is that it's a lot more quiet, which is obviously fantastic if you're building in a small space and you have something, especially like a Skylake 6500, i5 6500 or something like that. This would be a fantastic cooler for that, because it's small, it's very easy to install because it uses either the stock Intel mounting or the stock AMD mounting, so you don't even have to install a backplate or anything like that, which is obviously very nice. And yeah, it's very easy to do. It's very much just, if you've got Intel, push the 4 pins in and turn them. If it's AMD, just hook them over and flick the switch over. It comes with thermal paste pre-applied. It's a very you know, easy to use cooler. The only thing I did notice is that when you're trying to put the fan on the actual cooler itself, it kind of cuts your fingers open a little bit. I think I managed to just about escape there, but it was quite tough to actually get the fan hooks sort of on there. But once you do that, the fan is ridiculously quiet, which is awesome, and does a really good job of moving air through the heatsink, while, as I said, not being loud, which is nice. And the temperatures may have been slightly affected just on my sort of results here, because the fan is actually facing downwards as opposed to coming from the front of the case where the sort of cool air is. It's not necessarily, you know, the end of the world, but that just may affect the temperatures here. But if I haven't already said, this one with an A10 7860K and running the GPU as well, I was seeing about 80 degrees under full, you know, 100% Prime 95 load. Under gaming type load, I was seeing somewhere between about 70 to 75 degrees Celsius, and under just complete idle, you were looking at somewhere between 50 and 60 degrees, which it definitely isn't bad for its size, price, and noise level. It's obviously fairly comparable in terms of actual temperatures to something like an AMD stock cooler or an Intel stock cooler, but as I said, at much lower noise levels, and for the price it's still pretty good too. In terms of the kind of main sort of scoring, I'm going to go for, I think, a 4.5 for value for money. It is really quite fantastic, and I do recommend it if you're building in small form factors, and especially if you've got something like an i5 6500 or something like that. That would be fantastic for this. In terms of performance, again, I think I'm gonna go for a 4 here. It's obviously running at 80 degrees is still reasonably hot, but it does a really good job at being very quiet, which is why it's gonna get a 5 for functionality. In terms of styling, it is pretty good. You know, it's a CPU cooler. It's not the most stylish thing in the world, but it's you know, definitely nice to look at overall. And while it doesn't have RGB lights, because apparently people like that sort of thing, I'm gonna go for, I think, a 4.5. In terms of TechteamGB score, I'm gonna go with the 4.5 as well. It is really fantastic for small form factor PCs, especially if you have lower power chips. And yeah, that's pretty much that. So if you enjoyed the video and found it useful, feel free to subscribe, like, and leave a comment to let me know what you've enjoyed. And if you have any questions, as I said, feel free to leave them down below too. If you want to pick this up, feel free to use my Amazon affiliate link. It genuinely helps me out and keeps these videos running. And if you want to buy anything else, there's international links down there too for pretty much everywhere that has an Amazon site. So if you're buying anything from, you know, laptops, CPU coolers, or garden sheds, feel free to click that link and give me a hand. And yeah, I guess that's kind of it. So as I said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to check us out on Facebook and Twitter if you got any questions, that sort of thing too. And yeah, we'll see you all in the next video.